You don't have it on, do you, Dad? Tocker
Did you even
2.
have a racing line on Tocker 2? Fucking hell.
I think I had it on briefly on Project Cars when I first started out, and then that was it. Never again. Fucking hell, that Aston was twatting the wall.
New.
New driver. A lot of them you'll find they're new. You didn't do the images, Matt, for
Images.
for the start of the screen.
Oh, that should be on there.
Mine's saying round 3.
Strange, they should both be on there. I did it.
My Streamlabs is just frozen. Hang on.
Right. Slowed up again.
Yeah, my Streamlabs has just stopped.
Right. Same as GT3.
26.9. 27.0. The update has changed it all. Yes, an error has occurred.
Right, so...
No. It doesn't matter if they're in the mid-27s, but with the new update, they're a lot...
Cheers, Cloud and Man, to yourself, buddy.
There's more grip when they're slightly lower, but you are prone to having punches. No, it's still saying... Or low, you start to lose pressure. Mine still says
sure
Spa.
why it still says that. There's a thing in the Google Docs that says streams.
Oh, the ending says Spa. Oh, next up is Bathurst, sorry.
Right. There's a thing in the... It's just updating now, actually, see what I'm telling you. Yeah, best of luck to yourself, and wish all the other Greasy Bandits lads good luck for me as well, Clouden, dude.
Shut up, Clouden. Actually, no, I like you in the Chevy. Curb abuser. You say it's in the Google Drive?
Yeah, it's just updating it at the moment, so it's not quite there yet. There's
Where
a bit
would it
that
be?
says streams. They've just loaded in now, so it should be there. There's a folder that says streams. They're in there. Round 1 Bathurst and week 1 end.
Sadly not. I'm at Chloe's. I don't even know if I get to see it. I might not be able to get to see it. I'm going to go and watch... I'm going to go watch... fuck. I can't speak. The new Joker.
Oh, the one with Lady Gaga in it.
Yeah. Okay, I've got it all now. So,
Sweet.
I will. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I got all them.
Sweet.
Oh,
Evening,
fuck
Phil.
off.
Hello. just want to have a stretch.
I want that. Control C. Okay, that's all ready to go now. I'll give her a shout out. Has she had a nice day? Oh. I take it she's got it on downstairs. Or she will have it on, yeah. God, I need to remember how to do a stream again. It's been so long. Yeah, just make sure you're ready before the timer.
So it's one set of tyres in practice, one for race one. No, quali. One for race one.
You got 3 qualifying sessions.
Race 2. Quali 3, race 3. Fuck me, that's 7 sets of tyres.
And they've been flat spotted.
We've only got water.
She's in the wall. A lot of people are in the fucking wall. Will Friedman's in his Porsche.
Okay.
He hasn't signed up to GT3s, has he? Matt. Use your ensuite. See, that's the driver mentality there. I just know where to find the shortcuts, you know. A man trap. Oh God! Don't get your penis caught. Man trap.
Knob catcher.
When's he set this to? Oh, fucking 5-2.
Oh,
I said Dad had needed to go to the his ensuite.
No, I've just heard it, dude. I've had headset on.
He's got a man trap. Chop his penis
big
off.
Scream in a minute.
Won't be a scream. It'd be a fuck. Oh God. Did you also know the top of the mountain is actually a public road?
I did not know that. There we go.
Yeah. So, as you come up to, what's it called again? I've already forgotten the name.
Skyline.
The cutting. No, the cutting. So the cutting is where that horrible double left.
Yeah.
Uphill. From there onwards, that's a public road. The actual mountain itself is a public road.
Brilliant. Wigan.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, Will's not messing. He's... Oh, my God! Fuck me, he has skimmed the shit out of that wall. If this isn't fastest, fuck me, I'll be shocked.
Where is he?
Well,
yeah,
he's not put a lap time on yet. He's in Elbow
no, where is your
now.
track? All right.
Oh, he's clipped the wall. I mean, he went up the hill and he was literally flirting with the wall. I mean, I was getting close, but he was literally like skimming
full
it.
Blown. Yes.
I mean, in these, they're a lot easier to be a bit more daring, to be honest. I mean, Matt, to be honest, you got what? 1.4.
Morning.
Oh, you might have a race engineer as well, Dad, in here. You might have a race engineer.
What's Tony doing?
I was talking about you. You'll have every single fucking stream up that you could possibly find.
Oh my lord.
It's alright, Mizzano's next. I thought you liked Mizzano. And it's a night race as well. Yeah, what ballbag picked this track? I might put that in the chat. I might get like people to vote on who voted for what track and see if they can guess right.
Just throughout the night, who voted for Bathurst? Dan, Matt, Hypertech, or Mike? Who wanted Donny? Who wanted Alton? And who wanted Suzuka? Mike wants Alton. It's his local track, innit? I already know what track I'm picking for next season.
Indianapolis.
Alton, yeah, I think we all are and all. And I don't just mean me. I think Smithy and Welshie. I think everybody, bar Mike, is doing it.
And it's his home fucking track.
Yeah, he's going to watch F1 instead. He's paid for that Lando Norris stand for next year, which is cheaper ticket. Where did he say the stand was? Stowe. By the outside of Stowe, I think he said the Lando Norris stand was. That he's got for next year. And ticket price, I think, for weekend are a bit cheaper than just paying normal Silverstone prices. Oh, yeah. He paid a couple on, fucking good money for him. I'll tell you about the donut Welsh he bought, Kelly. Silverstone for Tour Cars the other week. Can of water, regular size Coke can of water, a bottle of Coke, 2 donuts, £18.80. Yeah. I thought Donny and that lot were expensive for track prices, but fuck me, Silverstone just up it another level. I'd honestly say to you, as a touring car fan and the experience you get at like Thruxton and Donny and places like that, Silverstone's probably the worst I've been to. Because it's built.
Yeah, but what's the best?
The track's boring, and it's what's the best?
Yeah.
Tough call between Knockhill and Thruxton. Really is a tough call between the pair.
You can see everything at Knockhill, can't you? Well,
that's
Thruxton,
the bonus.
You can
Thruxton,
get a lot closer.
But you are a lot closer.
You're very close as well.
And believe it or not, Thruxton's got a better paddock than Knockhill. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I know the paddock is fucking awful.
It's like somebody's just chucked 2 bits of metal roofing to stand up to keep the fucking mechanics dry, because they all wheel them back through to tarpaulins.
Oh, somebody's already voted me.
No. No. Oh, seeing them cars come through the chicane and like you see them on telly and you think, fuck, they're brave, and then you see them in real life, you think, oh, I tell you, I don't know if it was brave or stupid, but the Legends cars taking that chicane, fucking Jesus, they was not brave, they was stupid, but fuck, did it look good.
I remember when I took you for a walk around the circuit around Thruxton, and it blew your mind actually how long it is
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
wide it is. Like the width
Yeah.
of the circuit is like, and then when you come
Oh, it's
down to that,
incredible.
whoa! Who is that? Sorry, I was watching Beasley then, and this fucking purple Ginetta just comes flying. Oh, it's Lucas, I think. Is it? This purple Ginetta just comes flying into the back of him and twats him. Oh, I need to get rid of that. How do I broadcast settings? I can't. Oh no.
Oh, what was I?
Still, since you told me that fact, the best corner name in World Motorsport. Yeah. Who was I telling? I made it telling Emily. And she thought I was bullshitting. And then she went, that sounds like something Kelly's made up. And I went, I swear
To God, when I did some track research for a broadcast I was doing for Apex, it's there, you know, and that's what all the sources say and all the websites say. And she went, oh, well, I never. She says, it just sounds a bit made up. I went, I can see why you think that, but hey, dirty bastards. It's Blackpool score, Tony. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's the cleanest race ever this week. Hopefully these 3 races this week are going to be the cleanest 3.
Shut the fuck up.
GT4 Pro Am and Pro
Shut
will
the
just be
fuck up.
absolutely squeaky clean.
Shut the fuck up. You are fucking dreaming.
There will be no stewarding to do this week whatsoever because
Shut
it will
the
just
fuck
be
up.
a dream.
Me and Mike are going to be incredibly fucking busy this week.
I reckon so. Me and Hypertech and you and Mike and Phil and Peony, we're all going to be incredibly busy because of maybe not Pro. Maybe not Pro.
Fuck off.
Although you've got Crash Automatic on your track, so.
We got Crash Automatic. Pro Am's going to have Lando Norris.
Oh, don't.
Who really doesn't look comfortable on this game.
He's.
I love how Diz has gone 2 BMWs. He likes his BMWs.
BMW on the grid this season for GT4.
Which is a shock, to be fair.
Very shocked. Not a McLaren. Only a small amount of Astons, mainly Mercs, and a lot of
McLaren,
Ginettas.
one Alpine.
A lot of Ginettas.
A lot of
No
Ginettas,
Audi.
a lot of Astons. No
Yeah.
Audi. But Audi's terrible anyway. Right. You would have been the only KTM. Right, boys. Best of luck. Enjoy it. Matt, don't get too angry.
Yeah, I won't do.
Right. Catch you all later.
See you later.
Oh, Matt, you're still a share screening.
I might. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. We are live down under in Australia, in New South Wales, here in Bathurst, Mount Panorama. We are back once again to start off a brand new SimPlay season. My name is Dan Davis, also known as Unorthodox, and I will be bringing you all the action this GT4 season, and what a season we have ahead of us. Instead of last season, we only had 6 rounds. This season, we have the full 12 running alongside our GT3 championship, and what a lineup we have. We have a massive grid in the GT4s, and I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm so looking forward to seeing all of you guys in the chat. And guys, get your votes in now, because there's a little poll going up at the minute on who voted for this track from the admin members. You had Matthew Duffin, Mike Matthews, John Goudet, and Dan Davis, your 4 admin members. Who out of all these voted for this circuit? All of us have had a choice this season as well, and later on in the season I will obviously get you guys to interact with that. But welcome back. We are back racing here at SimPlay Motorsport, and like I said, GT4s will start this season off once again on a Tuesday night. We have got a brand new layout for this season as well. But first things first, let's say hello everyone in the chat. We got Yoshi in the chat, our endurance commentator. We're seeing him in the chat. We got Hypertech as well, Tracy, Micro J's as well, and we've also got Don Segal as well in the chat as well. And if I do get your names wrong, I apologise. If I get anyone's name wrong this season, I apologise, but I will try my very best. But the GT4s are back, and they are bigger, badder than ever. We have got a stacked grid this season, and we've got a variety of cars. Not as many as I was hoping for, but nonetheless, we've got a fun full of cars out there this evening. But looking the most popular this season is the Ginetta. We've also got some familiar faces returning. We've obviously got your championship contenders from last season of Clouded, Matthew Duffin, and the defending champion, Sky Shondelmeyer, back in his Aston Martin. And I believe he's still running the black and pink. Yes, he is. Your defending champion here. Obviously, 12 rounds now he'll have to endure this season. How can Sky get on this season? It's nice to see him on the grid. As Tracy says in the chat, they've just survived the hurricane. And from what I've seen in the images, it looked pretty hell out there. But nonetheless, we are here at Bathurst Mount Panorama for the first round of the seasons for GT4, GT3 Pro-Am, and for Pro as well. And just before we get qualifying underway, here is what the format will be for tonight's race. Instead of last season, we only had 2 sprint races. Tonight, we have 3. 3 sprint races. 3 of them at 20 minutes, no pit stop required. It is just a flat out from lights to flag all the way to the end. So it's down to these guys to just be as clean as they possibly can and push as hard as they can and try and gain as many points as possible. Obviously, no reverse grid here for the first round, obviously, because that's based on the championship standings. So there's no championship standings here at the minute. So it is down to these guys to have 3 qualifying sessions. Once we then get this round out of the way, the first race of the season will be a reverse grid based on the championship standings. So let's take for last year's results as an example. Sky Shondelmeyer champion from Cloudon from Matthew Duffin. If that was the championship standings after round 1, they would be at the back of the pack and have to work their way through the front. Luckily, it's not at this circuit, because it would be absolute chaos if it was. Current cars still on track, putting some lap times. Who is currently out there? John Andrews, and also I believe that is, yes, Nuclear Waste, but he is done for the session, so it's just John Andrews we're waiting to finish the session. So it's 3 qualifying sessions and 3 races, 20 minutes for the race and 15-minute qualifying session for each. I believe I believe it was 15. I can't remember now. It might have been 15, might have been 10. Oh no, sorry, 5. We made it 5. It's a very short, quick qualifying session, so they have to get those lap times done. I forgot about that. Yep, it is 5 minutes, so you literally got to get out and go. But the first one is a 10-minute qualifying session, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have got 25 cars. 25 cars here, and your main man, there's a lot of cars. Ignore the pit exit line, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's down to the drivers to catch them out. But we'll start things off with our main man, Matthew Duffin. He is leading them out of the pits. There's a vote currently at the minute. Which admin member chose this circuit? Please get your votes in on that. Let's hear from you in the chat, and let's see who you're supporting as well. So quick facts about Bathurst Mount Panorama New South Wales circuit. Obviously, like I said, down in Australia, we start as far away from the planet as we possibly can. And it's an FIA Grade 3. The current track has been held since 1987 all the way up to now. The old layout was all the way back in 1938. That's how long Bathurst Mount Panorama has been around. The track is 6.2 kilometers long, or in miles, that's 3.8, with 23 corners to negotiate. Obviously, the GT3 statistics I will bring tomorrow night for the Pro-Am. For the for the GT4s, the lap record in a GT4 on ACC is actually held by an Alpine, and that was a 2-minute 10.2. The most successful drivers around this circuit is Argent. He's had 2 pole positions and 2 wins at this circuit, with Rabbit Joe with 1 pole and 2 wins, and myself with only 2 wins but no poles. So Argent, the strongest driver around here. As they negotiate their way through Forest Elbow. Rooting for the old sim racer. Nice to see you in the chat, Daryl, supporting your drivers, and nice to see people in the chat supporting them. Obviously, this track is famous for the V8 supercars. They are the cars that come around here the most, and obviously the biggest name in Australian racing is the V8 supercars. And obviously the Bathurst 1000, 1,000 kilometers, and in the V8 supercars, that's 161 laps around this circuit, and that was held all the way back in 1960 as well. So it's interesting to see how this circuit has evolved and adapted since then. And massive chats going in now. We've got Spark and Gaming in the chat saying, come on, FBR boys. Nice to see you in the chat. And the FBR boys has made a return as well, with Richard Beasley also, with Diz as well. We've got Sam, a few others in there. I will remember them, but obviously new names have popped up. But let's take a lap with Matthew Duffy. He's going to be setting the pace here straight away at Bathurst Mount Panorama as he heads towards Hales Corner and then heads up the mountain straight. Now, a lot of these cars will be similar pace, but that BMW M4 is going to be the strongest in a straight line coming up the hill. As Matt goes up towards the mountain straight, he then comes up to the first right-hander of the circuit, and that is Griffin's Bend. He negotiates Griffin's Bend, heading up towards turn 3 and 4, the cutting. Very tricky circuit corner to get right, but Matt using all the circuit, trying to get on the power as soon as he possibly can, to then work his way up towards Quarry Corner and Reed Park. Through 6 and 7 he goes, flirting with the walls as much as you possibly can, then into 8 and 9, Frog Hollow, dipping down into the kind of like sinkhole, up towards Sullen Park, towards 10, and then heading down towards Skyline. The tricky section of S's here, into 11, down towards 12, a little bit twitchy on the brakes there, into the S's, down to the dipper, right there, of turn 13, 14, and 15. Negotiate 16. Not really a corner, but into 17, breaking into the very, very tricky Forest Elbow. Try and get a good exit out of 18 and 19. Matt flashing the lights to let them know that the Ginetta in front of him, he's on a lap, he's going to stay out the way, and Matt is then heading down the Comrade Straight. In the GT3 cars, they'll be hitting just over 175 mile an hour. Some topping about 181 mile an hour. Not sure what the GT4s are doing, but Matthew Duffin now coming towards the chase. Turn 20 into 21 and 22. Braking. You've done the mountain. You survived the downhill. Now you just got to negotiate a couple of corners. Heading now towards turn 23, which is the final corner, Murray's Corner. And that would be a lap negotiating here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Into the final corner he goes a little bit deep, runs wide, and towards the line he comes now, and Matt sets the pace with a 2-minute 13.2. What can everyone else do at that, as Skunky High gets within 2:10? So a good lap there from Matt, a good kind of benchmark, as Did goes into 3rd place. So Rob Smith also in the Alpine coming towards the line. He's a bit off the pace at the minute, but you can see traffic is going to be a real problem here. So Hypertech in the chat saying, let's go, Greasy Bandits Racing, let's go. Supporting his boys in the chat. And Old Sim Racer goes up to P5. That's where he sets his pace. Cloudin in the Chevy, changing from BMW to an American car. Returning faces KLF also in here tonight. KLF goes up into P8 at the minute. Darren Bell goes P4 now with McGronen into P3. So good lap time from him. Andy now goes into P7. Wu Darren P7 in a minute, so tipping goes into 9th, and they're coming in thick and fast. I have no idea how I'm going to say that. Not a clue. I'm not even going to attempt it. Another returning face is Shane. Shane coming back to the championship as well. Currently 15 at the minute. Rolo slowest at the minute in 16th place position. But Seagal going into P2 and Skunky High in P4. And Will Friedman coming from the GT3s into the GT4s goes into P2. Obviously back in a Porsche once again. What can he do in that car? Richard Beasley still yet to set a lap, as is Clouden. Clouden is exiting the final corner. Your runner-up from last season. What can he do in the American muscle car? And he goes into P2, gets within half a tenth of Matthew Duffin. So Matthew's lap time is a good benchmark so far, and he comes back around for another lap as well. He's opted to leave the Ginetta and go to the Mercedes-Benz as well. So 2 changes for these two, while Sky sticks with the Aston. Matt crosses the line and finds more time. He does a 12.9 as well, so more improvement there for Matthew Duffin. Seagal back into the pits, as is Skunky. So definitely more time for these guys to find Dizzing crossing the line. No massive changes we're seeing at the minute, as Beasley gets a lap time on the board. He goes into 17th. Rolo trying to stay out of the way there. There's a few other cars. There's a few in the wall up the top. Lucas is from New Zealand, I believe, so his internet's going to be a little bit questionable, but we'll see how he gets on. But it is Matthew Duffin setting the pace in the Mercedes-Benz at the minute, ahead of the Chevy Camaro of Clouden. Will Friedman currently on a lap time to go in the pit. Skunky is on a lap as well, but we got on board with Andy as he now comes into the final corner. And what can Andy do coming to the line now? He's 10th at the minute. He finds an improvement and goes up to 9th place. So we're starting to see some improvements, tipping towards the line. No improvement. That looks like Sam in the background. And Sam stays in 11th place, running the FBR colours as well. It's going to be very difficult for me to keep an eye on who's where and who's what. But there is Will Freeman. Clarball, evening folks. Let's go, Andy and Tibbs in the chat. Nice to see you supporting your drivers here. And into the final corner comes Will Friedman. Currently 6/10 off of Matthew Duffin's fastest lap. What can Will find here? No improvement. He stays where he is for the meantime. And like I said, I'm going to be trying my absolute best to try and catch as many cars as I possibly can. DJ Phil making a return, leaving the Chevy, going to Ginetta. He comes to the final corner now, across the line. He goes into 17th place position. We then got the 36th, I believe that is Jamal Clouden, into the final corner. Chevy Camaro, has he found any more time? No, he has not. So Matthew Duffin doing the work at the minute, putting it on pole. Nuclear Waste crossing line, 14th place as well. Good lap time from him. And already these cars are coming in thick and fast. That's the 280 of Lucas now coming to the line. He's got Diz right behind him as well. Guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. And Lucas goes into 15th. Diz goes up to 8th. So improvements are coming through now. Wu Darren is into the pits. He's 7th at the minute. Beasley now goes into 9th. So that's the 22 now. A KLF into the final corner. Currently 4.4 off the pace at the minute. He now crosses the line and improves to go 16th. So he finds a little bit more time there, does Kelly. So the final few laps here being produced at the minute. And there we go. McGronen. Yeah. McGronen has gone fastest of them all now, 12.6. Matt is still out there on a lap as well. Who is currently into the final sector now? We've got Darren Bell coming into the final few corners. That is the end of qualifying, so if they're on a lap now, this is it. Darren Bell will not be able to complete another lap. And that is his session done. He only goes 10th in a minute. Or did he make it to the line? No, he is done. There is a car coming into the final corner now. And that is the 302, I think, of Skunky High. And he finds improvement. He goes to 4th. And then it's Will Friedman coming up behind him. He goes into P3. So Matthew Duffin just hanging in there. for P2 at this stage. I believe it's then DJ Phil next to come to the line. Fat Bloke in the chat. Great turnout tonight, Dan. Great, good luck to all, and looking forward to a great race. FBR all the way. Nice to see you in the chat, Fat Bloke. But towards the line comes DJ Phil. No improvement. Then it's Jamal Clouden, currently P2, and he goes to P2 and goes ahead of Matthew Duffin. Matt really now starting to push as much as he possibly can out of that car. Everyone else pretty much in the piss. It is down to Duffin now. What has he got left? Chloe Davis in the chat as well. And Matthew Duffin exits the final corner. And he goes pole. Matthew Duffin takes pole position. We've still got 2 cars out on track at the minute. That is KLF and I believe the 88 of Shane. Both of these two in the Ginetta still to put a lap time, but KLF, we go on board with him. And while we are on board with KLF, a shout out to his partner Hayley, who's its birthday today. She's a Kiwi herself, so this is probably the closest circuit to her. So happy birthday, Hayley. Hope you're enjoying the action. As KLF now comes to the line, does he improve? He goes up to 13th place. That's a good lap time there from KLF. As Shane now crosses the line, he goes to 12th, dropping KLF down 1 position again. But Matthew Duffin, I was speaking to him just before the start of the session. He wasn't confident of this circuit. He wasn't too keen on it. So there's a clue who's the admin member that did pick this track. It wasn't Matt. It was myself. I chose this circuit. Matthew Duffin taking the first pole of the season, and that's going to help him out massively here, especially at Bathurst Mount Panorama. It's a circuit that you do need to be out in front, and look at the stacked cars that are on the grid. It is awesome to see so many GT4s here tonight. Phil in the chat, DJ Phil says, good to be back, and it is good to be back racing here at SimPlay Motorsport. And that's a reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that bell to be notified so you do not miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. We've got a fun-packed season ahead of all of us this season. It is going to be crazy, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait for the entire season. I will be back once again on circuit in the Pro class. The Pro-Ams will be here on a Wednesday night as well. Max Mulder moving up into the Pro class. So what can he do in there? Something to keep an eye on this season.
30 seconds.
As I'm trying to get the calendar up. So as the guys go around and do their laps, obviously another thing I need to shout out is to our sponsors, Audiosport and Design Manchester as well. So a massive thank you to them. And if you do want anything from their social media, then have a look. That's all in the description below. Audiosport manufacturers of VW Transporter T4 and T5 audio solutions and styling products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk and they have their Facebook link in there as well. The Outlaws Motorcycle Club, Harting SimPlay, thank you for the love. And also Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much more, including SimPlay merch. So there's their links as well. If you do want to be a part of SimPlay Motorsport, head over to our Facebook page, our Discord, our Twitter, our TikTok, all them. Follow our social media and head over to the Sim Grid if you do want to be a part of the action this season. You can drive as a reserve. We've got quite a lot of GT4s, but obviously people do come and go. So if you do want to sign up as a reserve, then head over to our Sim Grid and our Discord. This is the calendar though that you see on your screen at the minute. Obviously round 1 here in Australia at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Round 2 of the season we head to Italy at Misano for our evening race. Then round 3 with the new update done and sorted, Xbox and PlayStation can now see their lights, and now round 3 will be at Kyalami down in South Africa for our night race. Then it's to the United States, 2 trips to the United States this season. We head to Laguna Seca once again, and then heading back to Italy for Monza for the 5th round of the season. First trip to Britain at Snetterton for round 6 of the season. For round 7, we go to a double header in Spain. We start at Barcelona, haven't been Barcelona in a long time, and then back to Valencia for round 8. We then go to the land of the rising sun, Japan, for Suzuka for round 9. And then we make our final stop at Circuit of the Americas in Texas at round 10. And then we finish things off on round 11 and round 12 at Orton Park and Donington Park here in the United Kingdom to finish things off. And then we're into Christmas. So a very, very packed season ahead of us, not just for the GT4s, but the GT3s and Pro-Am and Pro drivers as well. So I'm going to get a poll going for you guys. Who you think is going to win the first race? And what do we think already to the size of the grids? Already the layout of the races. We've got 3 races instead of 2. 5-minute qualifying sessions as well. So they've got to get out there and get their lap times on the board. If they mess it up, that's their problem. That's their fault. Who's going to survive the mountain? Who are you supporting as well? As I'm just currently putting in the choices. God, I'm so out of practice with it. My throat is already hurting and we haven't even got past race 1 yet. If you want to hit that heart button as well to give us some love on the channel, then please do so. And also if you want to donate to the channel, there's a donate button as well. Feel free to donate if you would like to help us out here at SimPlay Motorsport. There is prizes up for grab this season. I believe there is some trophies for the winners of each category. So there is a poll for you guys. Who do you think is going to win the first race this evening? Is it Matthew Duffin? I'm guessing that's an Ian, but I'm just going to go with McGrone, Jamal Clouden and Will Friedman as well. Good luck, says Hypertech in the chat. If Matt gets away clean, I can't see him losing this. He does struggle around this circuit. He does tend to struggle at Bathurst, but like you said, being on pole here is key. So we'll see how he gets on. But how will everyone else get on? That is just the top 4. Anyone else can still win this race. This is the dramatic thing about it. Your championship defender, it's all the way down in 23rd position. Sky Shundermeyer down at the back of the pack. What can he do? That is the question as they now run 2 by 2. As we will get our first race of the season underway. 2 Mercedes on the front row. It is Matthew Duffin against McGrone on the front row. Who is going to win? That is the question. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's hear you guys in the chat as we get underway here for the first race of the season here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. We wait for the first green light.
Green light, green light.
And we are green here in Australia as we head down towards Hell Corner. And is it going to be hell? That is the question as they all heading to turn number 1. Matt seems to have had a decent start as they all negotiate turn 1 relatively cleanly. Everyone getting through there relatively well, to be fair, as they all manage to make their way up towards the start of the race, and Matt gets a good clean start and pulls away for the first race. Jamal Clouden has already moved up to second, and there's Will Freeman. There's a few cars in the wall, Diz as well, and is that Segal as well? A few cars in the wall. That's Beasley, I think, is involved in that as well. KLF has managed to negotiate most of that. That is Nuclear Waste been caught up in that as well. A few drivers caught up in the first lap incident, but Will Freeman and Segal returning back to the pits. That is a retirement straight away, and Segal has actually left the session. So that was a great way to start your season. But it's Matthew Duffin leading away from, I believe, Jamal Clouden. Yes, it is Jamal Clouden with Skunky High right behind him. Skunky had a brilliant season last time out. Had a great end, and he's here for the full season, so we'll see how he gets on. Down the hill they go. Matthew leading away and pulling away from Clouden. That Chevy takes a while to get going as everyone else works their way down the hill. KLF's had a great start. He's up into 11th. As Nuclear Waste, after being caught up in some of the incidences, there's Supreme in 14th place, Tippy 15th, and they're all just trying to survive the first couple of laps. Lucas has gone round. Old Sim Racer negotiating his way around, as is DJ Phil, who Darren and Robert Smith both started from the pit lane. They're both Alpines. not able to make the start, but already drama here at the start of the race. But it's Matthew Duffin in the 55 Mercedes who breaks away from Jamal Clouden in second. Third is Skunky High. And then fourth is McGrone, who's trying to find a way back through. Darren Bell's had a good start up to fifth. Andy in sixth. Shane had a decent start in seventh, with Sam in eighth. KLF up to ninth now. Nuclear Waste to 10th. Supreme in 11th place, with Tippy in 12th. Matthew Collins in 13th. Diz being caught up in all the incidences in 15th with 14th and 15th with Sky Shondermeyer. John Andrews involved in the accident, as is Rolo. Old Sim Racer up to 18th place, with DJ Phil 19th, with Darren and Will Friedman in the pits, as is Richard Beasley. Lucas returning to the pits, and Robert Smith managing to get going as well. Already drama here as we get going. Long race and people pushing on lap one straight away. Exactly, yeah, too many people pushing, but Matt's got the start he needed. Meanwhile, Skunky High has actually dropped behind McGrone, who's managed to find a way through and is now looking to try and set his eyes on his Chevy ahead of him. Meanwhile, Shane is putting Andy under some pressure here, and he's sitting right behind him. KLF slowly moving on to the back of Sam as well, so a fight possibly happening here. And the key to Bathurst here is just to stay away from the walls, flirt with them a little bit, but stay away from them as much as possible in the race without losing too much time. Skunky now losing time. Darren Bell walloping the wall there, and just saying what I meant is just, if you'd hit the wall too many times, you're in trouble. Matt, though, pulling away from Clouden. Actually looking like Clouden gained a little bit of time coming down the hill, with McGrone sitting in third, Skunky in fourth, Darren Bell in fifth, Andy in sixth, with Shane in seventh. Sam stay ahead of KLF with Nuclear Waste in that 10th place position. Probably your closest fight at the minute is this Shane-Andy fight at the moment. Shane now looking to try and get into the slipstream of the Ginetta in front of him. The Ginetta not the strongest in a straight line, and I did say Clouden made some time in the middle sector, and he did. He made half a second, and you can see Andy now trying to defend as they head down towards the chase into the heavy braking zone of the left-hander. And at the minute, Andy staying ahead of Shane at this precise time. KLF losing a bit of time to Sam as Nuclear Waste tries to hunt him down. A few more cars in the pits. That's Tippy into the pits now, and everyone else managing to get going. DJ Phil losing a place there to Wu Darren, and Will Friedman still in the pits. But it's Matthew Dufford still leading the way. He's gained a little bit of time on Clouden. McClouden sets the fastest lap of the race. McCrone now looking to try and hunt those two down, with Skunky in fourth, Darren in fifth, Andy in sixth. Car leaving the pits. That is Shane still on his back bumper, with Sam in eighth, KLF in ninth, and Nuclear Waste rounding up the top 10 at this stage. Sky already up to 13th place position. Looked like Shane was looking to make a move on, he has made a move on Andy there as he went into the right-hander, and it looks like they've got a Mercedes between them. That is John Andrews, but just behind them. And right now, Andy losing out there to Shane. Can Andy come back at Shane? That is the question as they go up towards the top hill of the section. We got Old Sim Racer versus Wu Darren at the minute, and Wu Darren gets past as Old Sim Racer just drops further back. DJ Phil dropping behind Rolo now as well. So DJ Phil losing places hand over fist at the minute. But we go back to your leaders. Matthew Duffin at the minute, coming up towards the halfway stage of this first race, leading the way. There's Richard Beasley going down the main straight. Jamal Clouden, though, looking a lot more confident going down the hill in his Chevy Camaro. McGrone not able to go with him in a minute. Skunky in fourth, Darren Bell in fifth, and Shane now starting to pull away from Andy by the looks of things, as John Andrews gets himself out of the way. What else is going on? Old Sim Racer just dropping off a little bit. Rolo and DJ Phil are going at it. DJ Phil a little bit of damage to the front end of his car, giving Rolo a flash of the lights as they come down to the downhill section. Well, Rolo just getting a bit caught out. 3 FBR lads that are caught up in the incidents. No, says the Sparking Gamer. Oh, and DJ Phil passes Rolo down the dipper, and what a move that was. We didn't quite get to see it because the camera is terrible, but the Ginetta here under some pressure from 2 Aston Martins. And that is Sky off big time. Sky Schundermeyer has gone off with the other Ginetta of Susie Cream as well. So he's gone off. He's gone straight on. And Wu Darren, Old Simracer will get closer to him, but not close enough. Sam now starting to catch on to, Andy is starting to regain some time on Shane in front, as well as all the gaps are starting just to spread out a bit. They're starting to get a little bit more comfortable as Shane now comes up to the right-hander. But Andy not able to go with him. At the minute though, Matthew Duffin leading the way from Jamal Clouden, who's really pushing the limits. McGrone right behind as well. So there's your top three at the minute, and you share like your very powerful cars leading the way, in which we thought they would. Mercedes and Chevy, probably the most gruntiest cars on the grid, other than Diz's BMW, are at the front. And Skunky High's Ginetta not quite able to stick with them at this stage. Darren Bell just dropping off the pace ever so slightly. Not much else happening on at the minute other than DJ Phil and Rolo continuing their fight at the minute for 15th and 16th. This is your closest fight on track at this stage. And both of them just seem to be making mistakes at different parts of the circuit. And Jamal Clouden, by the list of things, has lost time. Will Friedman in the chat, not the best start to my life. I've been pushed off behind into the wall. And Clouden's gone off. He's made a mistake, and that's allowed McGrone through. So Jamal Clouden, already under some pressure there from the Mercedes driver, makes some mistakes and goes wide. As now Skunky High is getting a little bit closer as well. But it doesn't work in GT4, so it smashed me into the wall. It's such a shame, Will. But hopefully you can get that car sorted and repaired and back for the next race. So, Clouden making one too many mistakes there, as we see Matthew Duffin now lapping Beasley. And there's normal blue flag rules in GT4s, so the blue flag car will have to get out of the way, and Beasley obeys and moves straight out of the way. Clouden, though, still has the fastest lap to his name, but a couple of mistakes has dropped him down into P3. What else is going on? Skunky now starting to put some pressure onto the back of Jamal Clouden. Sky Schundermeyer now back onto the back of Susie Cream Z. Aston Martin versus Ginetta and a straight line. The Aston should out-drag the Ginetta relatively easy, and up the hill they go. We are now halfway through this race, and I'll end the poll there. And at the minute, majority reckon that Matthew Duffin is going to win this race. As into the right-hander they go, and it is Sky Schundermeyer getting his way through. Skunky High now started to put some real pressure onto the back of Jamal Clouden. And Skunky now just looking for any opportunity to capitalise on the Chevy. The Chevy, big, heavy, will struggle in the corners. It's very good at swallowing up curbs, but on the on the fast corners it will struggle. And Skunky, not that slow in a straight line compared. He's able to stick with it with the straight line, but obviously the slipstream will help him out massively as the Chevy punches a hole in the air and the Ginetta just slips behind. But as you see there, by the end of the straight, Clouden had built that gap, but he made a mess of that chicane once again, and Skunky brings that gap back down. Meanwhile, Sky has pulled away from Susie Cream Z. But Skunky now is the one on the move. He's now looking to make a move on the Chevy. Meanwhile, DJ Phil has caught Wu Darren. Did say 2/10. That's dropped off a little bit more, so he's probably had a mistake somewhere. But Jamal Clouden has got his hands full at the minute with Skunky High right behind him. And at the minute, Jamal Clouden doing what he needs to do to keep the Ginetta behind him. They have got lap traffic. Now the rules are for going down the hill. They're not allowed to lap cars going down the hill. So this is going to be interesting between Skunky and Clouden. Beasley now just has to mind his own business, but he is quick enough to stay in front of him, so he doesn't really become too much of a hindrance. Oh, Skunky has returned to the pits. Has Skunky been disconnected? No, I just had a lag moment, I think. Yeah, I just had a lag moment. Oh, there's a car off. Oh, there's cars everywhere. That's McGrone. He's hit the wall and he's returned to the pits. Oh, a lot of these drivers obviously don't know the rules here. If you return to the pits, it's not going to look good on you. There's a couple of cars returning to the pits. And Clouden inherits now second place. While McGrone goes into the pit lane. That's points he's giving away at the minute. But now it's Clouden and Skunky High with Matt with a big gap of 9 seconds at the minute. The man who says that he doesn't like Bathurst Mount Panorama, he absolutely detests it. Well, he's looking like he possibly could on his way to a race win if he keeps it clean and collected. Jamal Clouden, second from Skunky High. And no worries, Friedman. It's nice to see you in the chat. I hope that my little Porsche will go to at the finish line next race. Remember, like I said, too many retirements, and we will obviously start handing in qualifying bans. But just a reminder to all the drivers, you have to read the rules and regulations. And if you get caught out, and I believe, where is McGrone? There he is. Beasley just struggling there in his Aston Martin. The guy who's had a great debut so far in these GT4s is Darren Bell in the Mercedes, looking very solid. Mind his own business in P4. Then you got Shane onto a solid P5, Andy in P6, then Sam down in P7, KLF in P8. And all these guys are just gaining places from the leaders, making too many mistakes. Collins rounds off the top 10, but he's got Sky Schondermeyer, who got caught up in all the incidents earlier on. He's about to get himself back into the top 10. So shows that if you stay on track and get through all the traffic, and this should be interesting. Now we've got Rolo and Susie Creams coming back out on track. Skunky's got past Clouden. Clouden's clobbered the wall. So now the Ginetta moves up into P2, and Darren Bell isn't a million miles away, so Clouden has to be careful here. There's no teammates in this, so his fellow Greasy Bandits driver Darren could possibly nab a podium here in the GT4s, and this is the fun of Bathurst Mount Panorama. I have not seen his new rig. You have to post it in the chat. Not in the chat, in the Discord, so we can all have a look. But hopefully he's a little bit more comfortable in it. But a great start for Skunky and Matt at the minute. Worked their way to the front. And Shane also having a brilliant debut so far, returning back. Been away for a while. Not been well, but he's back here racing again. And Sky now up into P10. Clearing Collins. Old Sim Racers is just in 12th place, just outside the top 10. As McGrone's going back out. Don't know if that was major damage, that's why he returned to the pit lane. But once again, Jamal Clouden and Skunky is your closest fight at the minute. And you got serious damage to the front end of that Chevy. As Diz has ended up in the wall, so Diz struggling in this BMW. I think a lot of these drivers are going to be happy once Bathurst is done and out the way. We go to a more open circuit of Misano next on the calendar. So just get through it, guys. Once you get through this circuit, I promise you, it'll get a bit easier later on. We thought we'd get the worst one out the way. Imagine a reverse grid here at Mount Panorama. So go back to your race leader, Matthew Duffin, 3.5 minutes still to go. These guys doing roughly 2 minute 10s. So Matt just cruising to the end for race 1. A reminder as well, when they 10th to 19th to 10th. Let's go. Yeah, great recovery there, Tracy. Just a reminder as well, this race, no one's carrying any ballast. But when we then go into the next race at Misano, your top 8 contenders will then have weight put on the car as ballast. Susie Cream's now under some pressure from Rob Smith. And Rob Smith has already cleared him in his Alpine. One of only 2 Alpines on the grid, and he is up into 16th place, now trying to catch Diz, who's at the other end of the circuit. Cloud in there just struggling with his damage by the looks of things, and not able to stick with Skunky. So after 7.5 intense racing minutes, it has been Matthew Duffin leading the way, and he's got fastest lap to his name as well. So Matt really capitalised as much as he possibly can. Skunky in P2 at the minute, with Clouden in P3, Darren Bell in P4, with Shane sitting in P5, Andy in P6, and then P7 is Sam. KLF is not too far behind him in P8. P9 is Nuclear Waste, with Sky Shondermeyer up into 10th, ahead of Matthew Collins in 11th, Old Sim Racer in 12th, Wu Darren in 13th, DJ Phil in 14th place position, Diz sitting in that 15th place spot, with Rob Smith in 16th, getting some pressure from Susie Creams in 17th, John Andrews in 18th, McGrone into 19th, Beasley in 20th, Rolo in 21st, Tipping 22nd, and Lucas 23rd, with Friedman in 24th position. And it's this fight at the minute, Rob Smith, Susie's Cream, as well as they get lapped by Matthew Collins, who just clears them now. It's not been as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. It's been relatively okay for Bathurst standards, but we've still got 2 races yet to go yet, and anything can happen. Reminder as well that these are only the little cars. The big boy cars will be coming up later on this week. Tomorrow night will be the Pro-Am GT3 class, who will be the new champion there. Obviously, we promote the champion and a few others up into the Pro class. So Max Mulder, Tim Venting, and a few others going up into Pro. We'll see how they get on in that class, and an interesting selection of cars. With obviously the new thing that's introduced for the GT3s is the BOP, the balance of performance. So some cars will gain and lose weight depending on its ability around the circuit. So for example, I'm thinking off the top of my head, I believe the Ferrari 296 gains a little bit of loses a little bit of weight around this circuit, which should be interesting to see. So it makes all the cars relatively competitive for every circuit. Now Rob Smith there looking like he's catching some lap traffic, so we've got mid cars lapping cars. And I've missed it. Matthew Duffin must have slowed down. He has won the race here. He's won the first race of the season. He wins at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. He wins race 1. And now we've got Skunky Harley coming in for P2. He must have slowed down because that looked like he was going to finish earlier. It is Clouden who crosses the line for P3, a top 3 for him. Darren Bell will finish on in the top 4. Congratulations to him. Will Friedman crosses the line. Shane finishes in 5th place. He'll be happy with that one. Andy coming home in that 6th place position. Sam rounding off in 7th place position, doing for the FBR crew. He finishes in 7th place position. KLF is going to hang in there for a P8. Returning back to SimPlay Motorsport, and he will hang in there for 8th place position. Sky Shondermeyer finishes in 9th. Nuclear Waste in 10th. With Matthew Collins fighting off traffic here, and he will cross over for 11th, with Old Sim Racer coming home in that 12th place. We had Susie Creams in 16th, Robert Smith for 18th, John Andrews is coming home for 18th place position, McGrone 19th, Beasley and Rolo in the 20th and 21st. There's Old Sim Racer crossing the line now, just beating Wu Darren to the line. DJ Phil is going to finish things off in 14th place position, with Diz the last car to cross the line. So already a dramatic start to the evening. We've got the 67 of Tippins now coming to the line, finishing in 22nd position, and Diz is going to round off the grid here in 15th place position. So there you go, guys. First race done and dusted, and it is Matthew Duffin who is your race winner, and he also takes fastest lap and pole position, so already he's looking great for the start of the evening. And I believe now we will go straight into a qualifying session. Excuse me. But how exciting was that? Great start to the evening already. Matthew Duffin taking as many points as he possibly can there. And we will now go into straight into the second qualifying session. It's only going to be 5 minutes, so they ain't going to get much of a break. They're straight into it. Now qualifying starts, and away they go. So straight out on track. Instantly trying to get some track time as they get back out on track. Skunky High managing to jump them. So no breaks here this time. We're flat out straight into racing. Which by the end of the night, my voice is going to be wrecked. So this time round, it is Skunky High who gets out in front. Let's see if we can get on board with Skunky High. Skunky High, where is Skunky High? Skunky. I will find him, there's like 20 odd cars. Here we are. We are on board with Skunky High. Just to get you an idea of this circuit here at Bathurst Mount Panorama, and we will take a lap with him. But already, Matthew Duffin taking the advantage straight away. Excuse me. I will be doing that quite a bit. I do apologise. I'll try my... You can hear the car chopping out there. As Skunky High will now come into the final few corners and start a lap here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. If they're still in the pits now, they're going to run out of time to get out on track. But Skunky High exits the final corner as we take a lap around this fantastic circuit, down the main straight, heading up towards Hell Corner, and just break it before the 50 board. Get the front end turned in, gear 2, get a good exit, run up the hill towards Mountain Straight, and then into Griffin's Bend for turn 2. The Ginetta would have loved the slipstream right now, but it would compromise him going into corners. Down the main straight and then go over the crest up towards Griffin's Bend. Just braking before the 50 board once again, dropping down to third gear. Get the car turned in, get some confidence, get on the throttle, run out as far to the wall as you possibly can. Heading up towards the cutting, turn 3 and 4. Be as brave as you dare. The GT4s can go a little bit faster through there than the GT3s. Into second gear, dropping up into third towards Quarry Corner. Through Quarry Corner past Reed Park, up into fourth gear towards fifth. Heading down towards Frog Hollow, into 9, down past Solomon's Park, into 10, and then heading towards Skyline. He runs a little bit wide, pushing the limits there, and he then breaks down the hill for 11 and 12, into the S's, into then the dipper of 14 and 15. Really flirting with the walls, and as you can see, they really do have to get close. Down towards 17 and 18 of Forest Elbow. You hear the car locking up, doesn't like the drop, and try and get a good exit, and then head down towards the long Conrod straight, where most cars will be able to top out. And in this Ginetta, it will. 6th gear. And it's absolutely banging on the limiter as he heads towards turn 20, 21 and 22. The chase. Turning in on the right-hander, braking heavy at the 100-meter board to get the front end turn, and he stays in 3rd gear to get the best exit out the corner. Heading now towards Murray's corner, the final corner here, to set a lap time. He is going to set the benchmark just in between the 150 board into Murray's corner, get a good exit, get a good run, and out of the final corner he goes. And it's a 2:13 as Matt already goes quicker. And a few drivers now coming to the line. Matthew Duffin setting the pace. As we see Diz cross the line, 3.3 off the pace at the minute. A few cars in the pit lane, not able to get a lap time on the board. And this is the fun thing about the one-lap shootout. Beasley goes into 3rd. Old Sim Racer goes 6th. KLF goes into 8th, but he drops further back. But whoever's on a lap now, this is it. This is their last chance. So the 36, that is Jamal Clouded, and he's bailed. He's bailed on his lap, so he is going to be down in the pack. And this is the fun of the 5-minute qualifying session. You had to get out there. It was going to be tight. It was always going to be tight. And a few cars coming to the line now. Sky Schundermeyer, much better qualifying session, up into P3. Nuclear Waste goes into 10th. Will Friedman goes up to 3rd. Who else is there? Will Darren is up into 6th. Diz managed to get another lap on the board. KLF has managed to get another lap as well. So a few of the winners from the last one missing out on this one, as McGrone now goes on pole. So he sets the pace. Can anyone take that away from him? Richard Beasley managed to get another lap in, as did Matt and Skunky. So will they improve? Diz also on a lap. Who's coming to the line now? I believe that is the 53 of DJ Phil. It is. And DJ Phil now coming to the line. And DJ Phil goes into 15th place position. We now look back to Skunky, the first of the cars to set a lap time. And Skunky now coming to the line. Matthew Duffin in close quarters. So Matt looking to improve on his lap. So Skunky crosses the line, goes P3. Matt does improve but stays P2. What can Beasley do? He improves but doesn't improve his position. Diz now on a lap into the final corner. And towards the line he comes. He does not improve and stays where he is. It is now just KLF and Old Sim Racer. And this is the problem with the 5-minute qualifier session. You haven't got long. Kelly improves and goes up to a 12th place position, and Old Sim Racer goes up to 10th. So there is the dramatic start of the 5-minute qualifying session. Jamal Clouden and Seagal are both down in the bottom end of the qualifying sessions. They're not even there. Yoshi and Seagal aren't even there. But yeah, that's the dramatic qualifying session of only 5 minutes. You've got to get in and get your lap times done. And McGrone puts it on pole from Matthew Duffin, another Mercedes 1-2. So no time to rest for these GT4 boys. Excuse me. And also a reminder to the guys in the chat, and all to the drivers as well, we do have a Patreon support system here at SimPlay Motorsport. If you pay £3 a month to the channel, you're able to reserve a race number, get priorities on sign-ups and events, help towards the track suggestions, which one driver this season, who's our only Patreon, did suggest a circuit, and he managed to get it on the calendar as well. Also helps to promos as well, and also sharing your social media links as well, and posts as well. So if you do sign up to the Patreon, that will help you up as well. Wishing me luck this time, says Will Friedman in the chat. I wish luck to everybody on the grid.
30 seconds.
Oh, no, did not want that one.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
So 10 seconds before the start of this race. And we go racing once again here at SimPlay Motorsport. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. These guys are going to be sweating after tonight, and they're going to be so glad to see the back of Bathurst Mount Panorama. And once again, if the leaders get a good start and they pull away, it's really looking like it's in their court. So just getting a post out now for you guys to vote who you think is going to win this one. And with no clouding up there now, it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to really take the fight to Matthew Duffin. Looks like McGrone now puts it on pole. And Matt just a bit further behind in this one. Obviously, other circuits, they will have a little bit more time. They might be able to get 2 laps, but this is the fun of the 5-minute qualifying session. There's a poll out on who you think is going to win race 2. Obviously, if you think otherwise, then please say in the chat. Reminders are hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. And while you're at it as well, here are fantastic sponsors, Design Manchester and Audio Sport. The link is in the description below. So head over to their social medias, YouTube, Facebook, websites as well, all in the Discord, all in the description, so you can see all of that. And if you do want to be a part of SimPlay Motorsport, whether if it's a commentator, a broadcaster, a admin member, a steward, there's always spots available here to help us out run the channel. So head over to our Discord page, which is also in the description below. Follow our description, follow all of our channels as well: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those wonderful things. Good luck to all, says Clarble. And yeah, if you want to be a part of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport, head over to the Sim Grid and sign up through the Sim Grid and join our Discord as well. You will have to do a hot stint in a GT3 car around Barcelona, but that is just default. Even if to get into these GT4s, you will have to do that. So even if you do decide to compete in anything else, we can put you in the correct category. But McGrone starts on pole this time, and Mercedes 1-2 once again, but Matthew Duffin starting second, Skunky in third, Friedman will start fourth. There's going to be Sky Schondermeyer in 5th place position, Richard Beasley in that 6th place, with Wu Darren starting in 7th, Andy in 8th, 9th is Diz, Old Sim Racer in 10th, Sam in 11th, KLF in 12th, Nuclear Waste in 13th, Rob Smith in 14th, DJ Phil 15th, Clouded in 16th, Darren Bell 17th, Shane in 18th, Rolo 19th, John Andrews 20th, Collins in 21st, Lucas, then Susie Cream and Tipping at the back of the pack. Who is going to take the win in race 2? Who's going to be the overall winner of the evening? That is the question, as Skunky really starting to put some temperature into his tyres, and Will Friedman in his Porsche just biding his time, waiting for the opportunity to attack. They now get themselves in a 2x2 formation. McGrone and Duffin on the front row. Mercedes all front row once again, but reverse this time round. The 664 and the 55. Who's going to come out on top? Who is going to outsmart the rest? That is the question, as we wait for the second time this evening to go green here at Bathurst.
green line. Go, go,
We
go.
are green and go once again here at Bathurst Mount Panorama as we head up towards turn number 1. And around the outside, Matthew Duffin tries to go. He gets a better exit, but he gets all over the grass, all over the dirt, and he manages to keep it pinned. And he gets the jump by the looks of things on McGrone, who's already under some immense pressure from cars behind. Shane looks like he's trying to clear cars in front, but it's the Mercedes 1-2 going at it at the front. Duffin on the inside as they head up towards the right second corner, and Will Friedman's right there. Matthew Duffin thinking better of it to send it up the inside as they all negotiate the second corner. Up they go, everyone relatively clean through there, surviving the onslaught of cars, and a much better start. Everyone surviving here in race 2. Much better start from everyone as McGrone leads the way, but he's a little bit slower. Duffin looking up the hill. He's really looking to try and find a way past on him in a minute, but Friedman's right there as well. So Will Friedman really pressurising the two Mercedes in his Porsche. There's an all-German front row at the minute, with the British Ginetta trying to hang in there. And they all negotiate up through the hill, down towards the Dipper. Will Freeman looking very competitive there just behind them. Everyone else managed to negotiate down the hill as best they possibly can, as Clouden had to go straight on there. But your top 4 though looking very close, and even Beasley there with them. Sky Schondermeyer as well, all looking very, very competitive at the minute. But Matthew Duffin seems to have a run on Groningen as they head down towards the Conrod Straight, and he looks like he's got an overlap. This is going to be interesting going into the chase. Matt looks like he's got enough of an overlap, but is McGronen going to try and keep his nose in here? They're side by side, side drafting. Matt's going to try and go around the outside. They make contact. Matt goes onto the grass. He manages to get it stopped, and McGronen stays on the outside. He runs wide now as Duffin goes around the outside of him through the chase, and Will Friedman's trying to follow him, but Matt gets the job done, and he leads going into the final corner. Meanwhile, oh, there's contact there from Wu Darren hits Beasley hard on the front end, and Beasley ends up in the wall. So Wu Darren contact there as Diz now looking to work his way through. KLF's dropped down the order a little bit. He's getting swamped by a few cars there. Old Sim Racer and Darren Bell there. But he's right behind Sam. Sam just in front of him at the minute, and Clouden's cleared all these cars. And Nuclear Waste got damage. He's back to the pits, as is Lucas. Collins as well. Has Richard Beasley got going? That is the question. Where is Beasley? There he is. Yes, he has got going, but he's got major damage to the front end of that Aston Martin. Heading up towards the uphill section once again, and your top 4 just as close as they've been all start of this race. A few changes further back. That is like Andy's made a move on Diz there, and Sky Schondermeyer just losing track of the guys in front at the minute. Probably caught up in a little bit of incidences, but KLF working his way through the order. He's up behind Darren Bell at the minute, and Shane behind him as well. So a few quick guys coming through, but Matthew Duffin still leading the way. Ahead of McGrone, ahead of Will Friedman, ahead of Skunky, and Will Friedman, a lot of confidence compared to the Mercedes driver in front of him. And right now, Will Friedman looking for any opportunity to find a way through. Oh, and McGrone hits the wall. And again, that's allowing Duffin just to disappear up the road. Will Friedman needs to clear this Mercedes as quickly as he possibly can to not allow Duffin to get too far away. Andy, meanwhile, trying to pull away from Diz. Cloudens had a great start considering he started further back. He's up into P9. Sam, meanwhile, trying to head to Darren Bell. Meanwhile, Shane is coming to attack KLF. They're now going to go side by side down towards the chase. And Shane, is he going to think better of it? Yes, he does. He backs out of it as they head up towards the chasing. Shane on the brakes right up the back end of the Ginetta of KLF. He runs wide, but so does a few others behind. That is John Andrews running wide, and DJ Phil is coming up behind him. But once again, Duffin gets out into the lead and starting to put a gap on McGrone. Friedman in third. Fourth is Skunky. Sky Schondermeyer just able to see them at the minute. Andy in sixth. Diz in seventh. Clouden in eighth. Ninth is Wu Darren. Sam in 10th place. who's actually lost the place to Darren Bell. KLF in 12th, with Shane in 13th. Old Sim Racer in 14th place position. John Andrews, followed by DJ Phil, Rob Smith, tipping Susie Cream, and then Richard Beasley, Nuclear Waste, Lucas, Rolo, and then Matthew Collins bringing up the rear. As looks like Will Friedman just lost a little bit of time to McGrone there. McGrone trying to stick with Matthew Duffin. And there's a car off there. That is the Porsche. It's just staying right out of the way of the leaders. But I think here, this is where Friedman seems to have a little bit more confidence than the Mercedes drivers at this stage. What else is going on at the minute? Clouden is still trying to make moves. He's on the back of Diz. Oh, and that's like Wu Darren has hit the wall. He's managed to get going though, but that's a big wallop with the wall that he probably didn't want. So meanwhile, Diz under some immense pressure from the Chevrolet driver, and Wu Darren is in the wall. There he is, and he's returned to the pits as well. But Jamal Clouden though, on the rear wing of Diz, and this is a Diz just giving the position to Clouden. Obviously, they're part of the Greasy Bandits teammates, these two are. FBR is Diz and Jamal Clouden's Greasy Bandits, but they're partnered up for the Pro class, and Diz not really wanting to get in his way, letting him go so that he can challenge other cars, and he will go with him. Meanwhile, Friedman still can't get past McGrone at the minute. What else is going on? KLF still having a great fight with Shane at the minute. They both gained a place after Wu Darren ended up in the wall. And Shane looking to the inside of turn 1. Is he going to send it? He thinks better of it. KLF's got him covered. That's really your closest fight on track. DJ Phil on the back of John Andrews. John Andrews looks like he's had a clip with the wall as well. But we go back to your race leader at the minute, Matthew Duffin, coming up to the halfway stage. And he's still leading the way at the minute. McGrone in second, Friedman in third, Skunky in fourth, Schundermeyer in fifth. Andy, oh, he's made a mistake there. And that's going to compromise Clouden. Is Clouden brave enough to make a move up the hill? Andy flirting with the walls quite badly there. And he's all over the shot. Clouden having to be cautious and wait for the perfect opportunity to find a way through. As they head down to the downhill section, nowhere really to overtake until you get down to the back straight, where the Ginetta will struggle in a straight line compared to the Chevy. And towards the back end of the circuit they go, down towards Forest Elbow. Diz is right there with him. And you'll find that BMW is a lot stronger in the straight line than the pair of them, but Diz makes a mistake. It drops back ever so slightly. Down the Conrod straight, there you go. Clouden versus Andy. And looks like Clouden's got to run. He's going to send up the inside towards the chase. And Andy thinks better of it, pulls out of the way, and allows the Chevy through. Diz wasn't there to capitalise. Meanwhile, Shane has managed to get past KLF, as KLF drops down to 12th place. I believe he tried, yes, he tried sending it on Shane. Shane managing to stay back in front. A little bit of contact, and that's now allowed Old Sim Racer to have a go at KLF. Old Sim Racer trying to go for the switch there and couldn't get the job done. Meanwhile, Will Friedman once again closer than ever to the back of McGrone, but can't seem to do anything about it. McGrone's actually brought Matt in a little bit, so these guys got a couple of lap traffic up ahead of him as well. And I believe that is Hu Darren just up ahead of him. But these four all staying relatively close to one another. Sky Schondermeyer really struggling at this minute. to stick with the leaders. Jamal Cloudon's going to clear these lot. Oh! As Rolo and Andy come together, and Diz will benefit from that, and Andy caught up in all that. Darren Bell now looking to try and negotiate the really slow Rolo, who goes through the hill. And Sam clears that. Shane and Kelly still having a fantastic fight between these two. But look at these three, closer than ever yet. Oh, McGrone has a slide, a big slide. And that's going to compromise his run. And the Porsche and the Ginetta are right there. Will Friedman really desperate to try and find a way past on that Mercedes. And if he does pass the Mercedes, he could possibly go and challenge Matthew Duffin. I have to say we are having some really good battles at the minute, relatively clean too. Yeah, it's been brilliant. And this is what I love about the GT4s. They are brilliant at racing one another. And we've got Sky ahead of Clouden. He's trying to bring that gap down. Then we've got Diz following them. Andy dropped off them. Obviously, contact with Rolo. Darren Bell in ninth. And we still got this fight between Shane and KLF. But KLF seems to have won that fight. And Old Sim Racer has dropped back. Has he had contact with someone? Was it Rolo possibly? Because he's back into the pits again. But as they head back up the mountain once again, coming to the end of race 2. And as you can see, once again, Matt's just got the race under control. He's not pushing too hard, he's just keeping everything in position. But once again, Will Friedman looking for any opportunity to get through on that Mercedes. He needs to do it sooner rather than later, because the longer this goes on, the more and more difficult it is going to be to catch Matt later on. Skunky High as well, just sitting there. Hey, Skunky is just sitting there waiting for anything to happen. Paid off for him last time, and he's hoping it's going to work for him this time. And as you see, Will Friedman there looking for any opportunity. Can't find a way through at this minute. And once again, McGrone has a slide. He has a moment. But this time, it's not Friedman pressurizing. It's Skunky pressurizing. He's right behind Friedman. Is he going to try and send it into the chase? He's pretty much pushing the Porsche. But he does not want to do it into the chase. And Skunky stays behind. And Will Freeman really pushing the limit. Both of them are to try and find a way through. What else is going on? Diz has, Clouden and Jamal Clouden and Sky Schundermeyer, championship rivals last time out, are going at it tooth and nail. Who else we got there? DJ Phil and John Andrews. DJ Phil's right behind him, and they've got Rob Smith just behind them as well. So we'll come back to them in a few moments' time. But we'll look at Clouden and Schundermeyer. Those two are going at it. Schundermeyer, again, with his rival right behind him from last season. And obviously you got your top four still relatively close. And again, Skunky is pretty much pushing the Porsche now, as McGrone starts to try and pull away from Friedman. We go back to Clouden, who looks to try and send it on Schundermeyer. Sends him the dummy. Schundermeyer goes to the outside. Can Clouden go around the outside? No. There's marbles out there, and he hits the wall. And Schundermeyer sees it coming and reacts brilliantly to it. And Clouden makes that mistake. Diz now capitalized a little bit closer on them. Meanwhile, KLF just dropped off the back of Shane. He's got a decent gap over John Andrews and DJ Phil, who are still going at it with... Rob Smith, is that behind them? Yes, it is. Rob Smith right behind them as well. As Old Sim Racer is in the pits, and he's now leaving the pits. Once again, Skunky closer to Friedman than Friedman is to McGrone. And like I said, the longer and longer this goes on, the safer and safer Duffin becomes. John Andrews really pushing the limits there, hanging the car sideways, got damage to the front end of the car. And DJ Phil flashing the lights in a corner, probably not the best idea. But these guys having a great little scrap at the minute. Oh, DJ Phil with a big slide there. Somehow catches it together. And just managing to hang on to stay in front of Rob Smith. Meanwhile, McGrone still ahead of Friedman and Skunky, and they've just got no answer to him at the minute. And Matthew Duffin is pulling away bit by bit. We go back to this three-way fight, and John Andrews just keeping it smooth, calm and collected, and Rob Smith's just there with him. A great little scrap between these three. And DJ Phil looks to the inside of John Andrews, thinks better of it, and backs out. Meanwhile, the Alpine of Rob Smith trying to try and find a way through, but can't do so at the minute. Skunky now dropped to a second. Nuclear Waste ends up in the pits, possibly underfueled, so a few cars here might gain a position. Shane, one of them will gain a position. So here comes Nuclear Waste out of the pit lane now. He's off the limiter. Where's KLF? He's not quite going to get him. But Friedman just dropping off the back of McGrone now. And Matthew looking like, again, he's set for another race win here. Sky Shondemeyer extending the gap to Clouden. And Diz just gone a little bit deep into the wall he goes. Darren Bell now has got Andy and Sam breathing down his neck, and not too far away is Shane as well. So Shane's slowly creeping onto the back of him. If he hadn't been caught up behind KLF for so long, he might have been in this scrap. John Andrews, though, still ahead of DJ Phil and Rob Smith, but this time Rob Smith has found a way past DJ Phil. And Rob Smith looking to the inside of John Andrews. Down the inside he goes, not quite far enough alongside. And John Andrews holds on to that position. Meanwhile, Andy putting pressure on Darren Bell. He's got damage to the front end of his car, and he clips the wall again. So the Mercedes driver struggling, and the Ginetta and the Aston breathing down his neck. Now he's hit the wall. So Sam can benefit out of all this, and Shane is creeping onto them ever quicker, and into the wall goes Darren Bell after a great race one. He's ended up in the wall and he's got more damage, but he's staying ahead at this stage. And here comes Shane, not too far behind. Nuclear Waste ended up further down, actually. Yeah, Nuclear Waste actually ended up a lap down. Let's go back to the Darren Bell's been made contact with Andy, and Sam's been through as well. We missed all that, but Darren Bell has had contact with Andy. Andy's coming through. Darren Bell's squeezing him, flashing his lights, and now he makes contact with Shane. So Darren Bell there getting a little bit frustrated with Andy and ends up making contact with Shane. Okay, left, to be fair, isn't a million miles behind these guys if they keep tripping over one another. But Sam moving up to P8 on that one. But Andy dropping down to 9, or staying in 9th, but she's got Shane breathing down his neck now instead. Matthew Duffin's actually lost some time to McGrone, who's actually creeped onto the back of him again. The question is this going to be the last lap of the race? Possibly will be. It's looking like it will be the last lap of the race. So can Matt just hang on in there for a little bit longer for another race with McGrone? Actually, he's dropped off. So the downhill section, he seems to struggle as they head towards Forest Elbow. Down the straight they go, Matthew Duffin ahead of McGrone and Will Friedman. Meanwhile, Shane is still trying to find a way past on Andy at the minute. John Andrews trying to stay ahead of DJ Phil. Rob Smith is actually dropped behind them. But we go back to your leaders. Matthew Duffin now comes into the chase. and possibly on his last lap. It's going to be tight. 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6. He doesn't really want to start another lap. 4, 3, and he should do it. 2, 1. Matthew Duffin's going to cross the line and win another race. He wins race 2 here at Bathurst. McGrone finishes second. Will Friedman finishes in third. Skunky will finish in fourth. Those four put on a fantastic show. And just at the end there, Sky Schondermeyer was being hunted down by his own rival of Clouden in that 5th and 6th place. Diz is going to come home for a solid P7. And Sam getting ahead of Andy and Shane. And Sam's going to finish in a solid P8. So Diz and Sam doing it for the FBR boys towards the top end. So they cross the line. Sam in 8th. 9th goes the way of Andy. 10th was Shane. Darren Bell's gone off, which is allowed KLF through. And KLF is going to get another 11. He's going to move up to the top 11 positions. KLF going to come home for a 11th place position. Darren Bell is going to finish in 12th. John Andrews is in the wall. DJ Phil has gone through, and Rob Smith is nowhere to be seen. But Nuclear Waste finished in 16th. Hugh Darren in 17th. 18th was Lucas. And coming across the line now for 13th place position is DJ Phil. DJ Phil towards the line, finishing in 13th. 14th going away of John Andrews. Rob Smith finishing in 15th. Old Sim Racer 19th. That is everyone else. Tipping coming towards the line now. Beasley's in the pits. Collins all in the pits. It is just waiting on Tippins now in 20th position. And another fantastic GT4 race. A little bit cleaner this time round. But once again, Matthew Duffin taking another race win to his name. And really, like I said to you guys, he wasn't too confident coming into this race. And Will Freeman says, much better. It's not NASCAR time. But here comes now tipping towards the line. He crosses the line in 20th position. Who are we waiting for now? I'm not sure who we're waiting for. Everyone's back into the pits. But that is that. Race done. And it's Matthew Duffin who wins the race. Maximum points once again. He didn't take pole position, so he isn't going to get the Grand Slam here tonight. As we are now heading to a third and final qualifying session, and I'm going to have a small drink break in a minute, so I'll be back in a few moments' time. Whoops. Who spun it on the pit lane? No idea. I was busy running to get a drink. But a lot of the cars have learned from their mistake in the second race in qualifying. They realised they've only got 5 minutes to get out and do a lap time. And all out they go. Matthew Duffin, the first one to get out on track. And this is going to be the last qualifying and the last race of the evening. As now we get our qualifying laps underway. Matthew Duffin's going to set the pace. Jamal Cloudin right behind him. He doesn't want to end up in the same position he did earlier on. Excuse me. And as they head up towards the mountain now, what can these guys do here? Matthew Duffin looking to try and take a Grand Slam. Can he do that? That is the question. Or get as close to it, because he won't do it now, sadly. Oh, excuse me. And down towards the hill section he goes. But Matt, 2 for 2 at the minute. Can he make it 3 for 3? This short qualifying session should really separate the men from the boys. Excuse me. If you haven't done so already, guys, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss any of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport. And also, while you're at it, head over to the description as well and have a look at our fantastic sponsors, Design, Manchester, and Audio Sport as well. If you do want to sponsor the channel, then please feel free to head over to the Discord. If you are new and want to join as well, then head over to the Discord as well and get in contact with one of the admin members, and we're looking to get you sponsorship on the channel. Obviously it'll be popping up under myself explaining your channel and what you do, and it'll be on all of our streams as well. Matthew coming to the water line now. He does a 12.5. Clouden just comes in behind him, a 10th off. Diz crosses the line, he's 1.9 off. Then we got Beasley right behind him. He will go into he didn't put a lap time together. McGrone now separates Clouden as well, and Skunky within all these guys within 2 tenths. Old Sim Racer crosses the line. Sam also following his friend Nuclear Waste goes into 6th and 7th. KLF crosses the line in 9th. Rob Smith into that 10th place position. DJ Phil did not get a lap time on the board, so these guys coming to the line now. This is their one and only lap. So who's going to lap on the board? Lucas does, as does Susie's Cream. Will Friedman, this time only in 5th place position, didn't get out in enough time. Who's also currently on a lap, who's in the final corner, that is Rolo. He goes into 15th position. Tippins goes to P13. Andy goes to 7th. And then it is Shane at the far end of the circuit, who's currently on a lap. And then it's the rest of the leaders as well. So if you can get that good exit out of the pit straight away, you have got a great chance. Obviously, this is Bathurst Mount Panorama. It's the longest circuit for these guys. So when we go to places like Mazzano, Monza, and stuff like that, it should be a little bit quicker indeed for them. Or a little bit easier to get 2 laps in. But Shane now into the final few corners now. On a lap, as is the rest of the guys behind. But towards the line now comes Shane. And what's it going to be? He goes into 6th place. So good lap time from him. but it's going to be once again Matthew Duffin towards the line, and yes, Will Freeman is very close. This is what I love about GT4s. Top 5 separated by 2/10. Matthew Duffin now exits the final corner. Has he improved? He finds even more time, and Clouden improves as well, but not enough. Skunky High is one to keep an eye on. The 75 Diz is on a lap. He does improve. Beasley wasn't on a lap. He does get a lap on, and he goes 8. Skunky High splits Clouden and Matthew Duffin. Now we just wait for Sam to come across the line as he will complete a lap time. And he goes P9, and we just wait for the last car to come across the line. That's Rob Smith, and he goes into 15th place position. Once again, Matthew Duffin taking pole position again, but Skunky High this time is going to be alongside him with Clouden, McGrone, and Friedman, all within that few couple of tenths. Diz in 6th, Shane in 7th, 8th is Beasley, 9th is Sam, and Andy in 10th. That's your top 10, and straight into the next race we go. So bit by bit, Matt has been improving and going a little bit quicker. But it's been a fantastic night's worth of racing. I hope you've all enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see what happens next time out. Skunky on the edge everywhere with that Ginetta. He is ragged with that thing, indeed. Race 3 winner. Obviously, these guys will have to wait a few days to get back on track to get some testing in, and obviously with this in mind, some of the drivers will start to get a ballast put on. They will not be able to know what their cars feel like with the ballast until the night of the race, because it's based on cars previously in the I can't talk now. Obviously the BOP is introduced, so most of the drivers won't have weight put on them, but as they go into the final part of preparation, they will have the weight put on, and in that one practice session they will know what they've got underneath them. Yes, see you in 20 minutes, Will. As there is a get your votes on who you think is going to win race 3. As they now get themselves into their formation lap around here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. We're currently at, let me refresh this, we're currently at 15 likes, guys. Let's try and get that to 20 likes if we possibly can. And get your votes on who you think is going to win this race. And so far, Matt has been the dominant driver here this evening. He's taken 2 from 2. Will he be able to take 3 from 3? That is the question. He takes another pole position. Can he add another win to his name? If you haven't done so already, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. It's going to be the GT3 action in a few days' time. Pro-Am tomorrow and a Pro on Thursday. Who is going to be a champion this season? BOP introduced, so all the cars will have a balance in performance, so they should all be relatively even. And we'll see who will be king of the mountain here at Mount Panorama. So far tonight, it has been Matt who's been king of the mountain. said, it has been great to watch these cars. It's been relatively good racing from the GT4s, and we'll hope to see that continue on later on in the week. A reminder as well, here is the calendar for the season. We start things off here in Australia, then we head to Misano for round 2, Kyalami for round 3, Laguna Seca is round 4, round 5 is Monza, round 6 Snet, round 7 Barcelona and Valencia, round 8, round 9 is Suzuka, round 10 is Circuit of the Americas, round 11 Alton Park, and we finishing off at SimPlay Motorsport's home circuit, Donington Park, where majority of the SimPlay drivers do meet up for the touring cars and to see one another. But we're focusing here and now at Bathurst, the first race of the season. And like I said, who is going to be on top? That is the question. Who's going to be leaving here with the top ballast? That's also the question. Get your predictions on who you think is going to win this race. If you don't think it's any of the 4 in the chat, then obviously write your prediction in as well. But at the minute, it's been a Mercedes dominant season, so pole position so far, and races. It's been Matthew Duffin on the front row in every race. But the first time, the Ginetta has got itself on the front row. Can Skunky High give Matt a bit of a headache? I keep calling him Skunky High because I'm used to seeing him from last season. But Matthew Duffin versus Skunky on the front row. Ginetta versus Mercedes. Who is going to come out on top? As they enter the final corner and they get themselves prepped and ready to go here at Bathurst for the third and final time for the GT4s as we wait for the green.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we are go for the third and final time as Matt heads towards turn number 1. The Ginetta Skunky probably trying to try and get a good exit out of the corner. And already Friedman's being made contact as they go into turn 1, and that is Hell Corner. Well and truly getting his name there. Shane being involved in this, and more contact. Diz and Andy making contact. What a top 3 disappear down the road. There's cars absolutely everywhere, and if they've all managed to negotiate this, I will be amazed. And most of them have, but it is Skunky, Matt and Clouden all disappearing out in front. McGrone's dropped into the pack as well, so he's dropped right in the middle of all this, and he's trying to negotiate his way through. Friedman has managed to get going, but he got caught up. Andy's in the pits. Shane dropping to the back of the pack as well. Now the times have updated. Matthew Duffin from Skunky, from Clouden, from Sam, who's up into P5, but he's got Lucas going around the outside of him, and they make contact there. Lucas hits the wall, damage to his car, and it's going to be Susie Creams coming up behind. Old Sim Racers up there as well, as Beasley's in the middle of all this as well. Tipping working his way through. KLF right behind Tipping as well, so a few positions could be made here. Andy's in the pits, so Matthew Duffin leading from Skunky, from Clouden. Now Clouden should have the straight line advantage on the Ginetta here, right behind the Ginetta. And it's going to look to try and send it into the kink of the chase, and he's already got the job done. That Ginetta not strong in a straight line compared to the Chevy, and now it's Jamal Clouden going to be on the back of Matthew Duffin. But is Jamal Clouden really going to give him a much of a threat? Meanwhile, Sam has pulled away from Old Sim Racer, who's got Lucas and Beasley. Oh, more cars off here. That's Diz and Tipping. KLF's in the middle of all this as well, so KLF looking to try and find a way past on Tipping as they now head towards the final corner. Sky Schondermeyer is in the middle of all this as well. Oh, there's cars off everywhere. Old Sim Racer's in the wall, as is Rob Smith is in the wall as well, and KLF makes a couple of places, as does Susie's Cream, and Diz dropping back as well. So a few positions gained for a few of the drivers there, as they've all ended up in the wall, and Friedman in the pits, as is old Sim Racer, Wu Darren, and also John Andrews, all in the pit lane after contact made. Meanwhile, Jamal Clouden is putting pressure on Duffin, and Skunky is right there with them. These three, this is probably the hardest Matt is going to be racing right now. Most pressure he's had yet. And Jamal Clouden in that big Chevy Camaro will be pressurizing Duffin now. Pushing him along. And Clouden having a better run through that sector there, right on the rear wing of Duffin. And Skunky not a million miles away either. These guys pretty much pushing one another. What else is going on? KLF is trying to stay ahead of Diz and Sky Schundelmeyer. And around the outside trying to go Diz. He hasn't quite got the grip, and KLF is going to try and hold it strong on the inside. He's going to be on the outside for the next corner, and Diz has to back off. KLF goes straight on though, and he manages to get it slowed down as they go down towards the back end of the circuit. Meanwhile, Clouden right on the rear wing of the Mercedes. The Chevy quite strong in a straight line. He's also in the slipstream. They come up to the chase, and Clouden touches the grass. He runs wide, and that's gonna be contact. Yes, contact made. And Clouden comes to a stop there, and that's gonna allow Skunky High through. So Jamal Clouden does manage to get going. Sam goes through. Sam possibly on for a podium here. But Skunky now leads this race ahead of Matthew Duffin, ahead of Sam now. Beasley gets past as well, so the FBR boys having a better race. But Jamal Clouden trying to recover. He's looking up the inside of Beasley here. And Diz and Sky Schundelmeyer have got past KLF, just a little bit slower in the straight line possibly there. But Clouden now on the rear wing of Beasley. We've got Lucas just behind them as well, so Lucas having a decent race here. But Skunky trying to pull away from Duffin. He's got fastest lap. Sam now in a third place position. Just staying out of trouble allows him to gain onto the podium positions. Beasley doing a great job here of just holding up the rest of the pack so Sam can try and pull away. Clouden on the rear wing of Beasley. And up the hill they go. Clouden still can't find a way past on Beasley through here. What else is going on? Tippings is trying to stay ahead of Darren Bell, who's ahead of Collins. McGrone has slowly worked his way up the order. Will Friedman has got out, and he's stayed ahead of quite a few cars. Shane is still in the pits, a lot of them in the pits and retired. But we go back to Jamal Clouden, looking to try and make a move on Beasley. And he can't seem to find a way through at this stage. Meanwhile, Matt is bringing that gap down to Skunky once again. And again, on the straights, the Mercedes is a lot better than the Ginetta. Down the long straight here, Aston versus Chevy. And once again, Clouden has got that Chevy strong in a straight line up the inside of Beasley. And they make contact. More contact made there as Clouden hits Beasley. And Clouden making a few little mistakes here. And Beasley goes off. Beasley not having the first race to the season how he probably would have wanted it. Meanwhile, Skunky now starting to come under some pressure from Duffin. Duffin in second place at the minute, has had his way all the way so far. But right now, Skunky High is leading this one. Sam in third, and got a comfortable gap to Lucas and Clouden. And just you see there exiting the pits is Rob Smith. So out the pits comes him, and he's going to try and stay out of the way as best he can. Susie's Cream is under some pressure from Diz. But Duffin now, once again, this is the sector where the Ginetta is a little bit better than the Mercedes. Skunky clips the wall actually by the looks of things there, and just makes a slight mistake there. Meanwhile, Sam minding his own business, and there Lucas has made a mistake, I think, and that's going to allow Clouden to try and go around the outside. They're going to go side by side through here. Is it going to work? Clouden gets the job done, and up a position he goes. Meanwhile, Diz is on the back of Rob Smith, who's got Sky Schondermeyer breathing down his neck, and KLF has got Darren Bell right behind him. Oh, Beasley's in the wall big time. He's trying to stay out of the way. Yes, he does, and that's another position for KLF. Meanwhile, Diz and Sky managing to clear Rob Smith, but it's KLF under some pressure here from Darren Bell and McGrone. But down the back straight, these two go once again, Matthew Duffin and Skunky High. And again, Skunky gets caught up in the straights, but in the corners, he's able to just put away a little bit. Into the final corner they go. Skunky trying to extend the gap to Matthew Duffin, and he does so ever so slightly. Sam holding a solid P3 as Clouden goes up into P4, passing Lucas. Susie's Cream is now looking to try and pass Lucas, with Diz and Schondermeyer right behind him. Darren Bell has passed KLF, who's dropped behind. Looks like he's a little bit slow, so possibly contact made as Darren Bell now enters the pits. And KLF will gain that position back then. So Darren Bell with damage possibly as McGrone goes through, as does KLF. He's got Tippin behind him and Matthew Collins as well, as Tippin's going to send it up the inside. And he's not far enough alongside KLF, and KLF runs a little bit wide. Back to your leaders. Skunky and Matthew. And you can see there the Ginetta just a little bit more hooked up here. And Skunky really pushing the limits. Matt brought the gap down in the first sector. That's where he seems to be stronger than Skunky. But Skunky in this middle sector a little bit better in the corners, as does the Ginetta handles. And we are past the halfway stage, so we'll end the poll there. And Matt looking down at Forest Elbow, but can't quite get enough alongside. He's better off just waiting and get a good exit out of Elbow, because he can out drag that Ginetta. Meanwhile, Lucas, where is he disappeared? He's pulled away from Susie's Cream, because he's got Diz and Schondermeyer right behind him. Lucas had his own moment, so these four all tripping over one another. Lucas gets right out the way, and Susie's Cream going to go a little bit deeper into the hairpin, possibly so, but we'll watch this B&W have so much power in a straight line, should easily out drag that Ginetta. And Matt's looking to the inside of the final corner. He's going to send it up the inside. He's not far enough alongside. Meanwhile, we go back to Diz, who's, like I said, got the straight line advantage on the Ginetta, and Sky Schondermeyer sends it up the inside with Diz and gets the job done on Susie's Cream, and around the outside he goes. The Ginetta losing out there. Meanwhile, Matt has lost some ground to him. Meanwhile, Tipping is still on the back end of KLF. Can't find a way through. Nick and Matthew Collins. And KLF now starting again a little bit of a groove here, and try and pull away from these two. Diz now will try and chase after Schondermeyer will try and chase after Diz. Meanwhile, Clouden's got a big gap to make a 3 seconds to Sam. He's got some time to do it though, but we go back to your top two. And Matt there just losing a bit of time through the S sections as Skunky pulls away. Lucas is into the pit, so a few more positions gained for a few drivers. As once again KLF is trying to defend for his life, because Tipping has lost out to Matthew Collins. And Matthew Collins now up a position. And he nearly ends up in the wall as well. So not what he would have wanted. Meanwhile, Diz and Schundelmeyer. That gap's come down to less than a second again. Like I said, some great racing at the minute. Nuclear Waste now hunting onto the back of DJ Phil. As there's John Andrews with a damaged Mercedes. And again, once I said, Matt gets a great run through the Comrade Straight and the chase. And they head towards the final corner of Murray's Corner. And Matt looking to possibly find a way through on the Ginetta, but can't do so. Into the final few laps of this race. And Matt still can't find a way through on Skunky. These two have been brilliant all night, up there in the points every round. And at the minute, Skunky trying his very best to pull away. And Sam's had a brilliant night himself, but he's got Clouden hunting him down, and Clouden's looking to the outside of turn 2. Brave to get that done. He gets it turned in and moves up into P3. And Diz now actually pulling away from Sky Schundelmeyer there, as looks like Tippins is now on the attack of Collins. So is he able to capitalise here? That is the question. Meanwhile, back to your leaders, Skunky and Duffin. And once again, Skunky in the middle sector just has that confidence to go downhill a little bit quicker. There's a poll out for your driver of the day. So you get your votes in for driver of the day. But Skunky, as you can see there, just gained some time on Matthew Duffin there. Matt's really starting to push a little bit too hard now. You can start to see the laps dwindling away. And he's just trying a little bit too hard to try and catch Skunky here. Might be, you know, okay, just take the points here. Take a second place. You've had a decent night already. So just be happy with that one. Meanwhile, Diz once again starting to have some pressure from Sky Schundelmeyer. And Sky really been not really on the pace of the leaders, but his racecraft has been brilliant and worked his way through the order. And there you see Diz just got that straight line advantage at the minute on Sky Schundelmeyer. And Collins now has caught onto the back of KLF. We'll keep an eye on that fight. But once again, Skunky has pulled away from Matt. 1.4 is the gap. But your closest fight at the minute is these two, the BMW and the Aston Martin of Diz and Schundelmeyer. They'll be sharing the track once again on Thursday night. So we'll see how these boys get on. But at the minute, Schundelmeyer, the young American with his new sim rig, trying to fend off or try and fight through Diz, and Diz runs a little bit wide. That's possibly the opening that he needed. Oh, and Tipping has dropped down the order. He's returned to the pits, so that's what's happened to him. Colin also getting close. But Schundelmeyer looking for any gap to get through, but can't find that at the minute too. A brilliant fight between these two. Into the dipper they go. Sorry, not dipper, yeah, I've lost track of where they are now. They're down towards Skyline now and heading down towards the S's into the dipper. And Schundelmeyer just not able to do anything with that at the minute. Meanwhile, Duffin has brought the gap down to less than a second once again. And the great scrap between these two. Matt bouncing over the curb, trying to find every advantage he possibly can on the Ginetta. Meanwhile, Sky and Diz going back at it once again. We've also got Collins catching Duffin. The two white cars, the KLF and the Matthew Collins cars. Porsche versus Ginetta. Tracy in the chat putting a thumbs up. Matthew Duffin can see another win, but he's got to be patient. He's got to be smart. He knows where the pace is. And Sky has got the job done on Diz, but Diz is coming back. Like I said, that BMW is very quick in a straight line, and he's looking to come back at Schundelmeyer, but he can't do it here. Sky goes into the final corner. And what can Sky do now? Now he's managed to get past. He's up at the 5th place. Can he pull away from the BMW? McGrone's not too far away either. But down the mountain straight they go. Or I say up the mountain straight. And while these two have been scrapping, McGrone's got closer and closer. There's the BMW Grunt. It's coming. And it's looking to possibly make a move up towards turn 2. No, and I think this is where Sky should be able to pull away. He's got the confidence in the hill. Meanwhile, Mercedes versus Ginetta. A fight to the end. Matt trying everything he possibly can to try and find a way through. This is where the Mercedes is stronger. In the straight line, but he's slightly too far back, I think. Matt's done a whole season in that Ginetta. He knows its strengths and weaknesses. And I think right now, if they do get another lap, he needs to plan Forest Elbow better. He's looking to the inside. He bounces over the curb and he sends it through. And Skunky is going to stay on the inside. Matt goes off and contact made. And Skunky is going to hang in there. If Matt had made the brakes, he would have won that race. But he just missed the brakes. And it's going to be Skunky High to win the 3rd race. Congratulations to Skunky. Matthew Duffin finishes in 2nd place. Clouden is going to finish in 3rd. He's got quite a bit of a gap to Sam. So great drive from him. We'll keep an eye on Diz and Schundelmeyer because that gap is close once again with McGrone just behind them. McLeod is going to exit the final corner and finish in 3rd place position. 4th is going to go the way of Sam. Sky Schundelmeyer still defending for his life ahead of Diz and McGrone as they headed to the final corner. But it's going to be Sky Schundelmeyer to come home in P5. Diz in P6. There's going to be McGrone in P7. The P8 is going to way of Susie's Cream in P8 position. 9th is going to be Matthew Collins. What has happened to KLF? He's dropped behind Matthew Collins there, but Matthew Collins is going to get himself into 9th place position as well. So brilliant stuff there from Matthew Collins. Into the final corner he comes. KLF is going to come home for 10th place position as well. So Kelly, a brilliant return back to SimPlay Racing and in the GT4s as well. Nuclear Waste is going to finish in 11th place, but only just as he crosses the line. DJ Phil will finish in 12th. Darren Bell will finish in that 13th place position. Will Friedman in 14th. Lucas in 15th. John Andrews is going to finish in 16th. Rolo 17th. Rob Smith 18th. Old Sim Racer in 19th. Tipping in 20th. Shane finished 21st. Beasley 22nd. Darren 23rd. And Andy bringing up the rear. Great racing from all those guys. Who are we waiting for now? It's just John Andrews as well. Next time out, I will figure out how to get the Discord working. Matt's going to have to teach me how to do it. And we'll see if Skunky's up for a chat. But we will speak to our winners. We'll speak to Matt and Clouden. If Matt is listening, if he's able to join the party, that would be fantastic. And Jamal Clouden as well. We have a quick chat with those guys just before we go off here tonight. But it's been a fantastic return for all these guys. It's been awesome to be back once again racing here at SimPlay Motorsport. But it has been Matthew Duffin who's been the clear dominant driver here this evening. He's come back with a new car, and to come back for the title that he lost last time out last season. And we will see how the rest of them will get on for the rest of the season. They will be obviously carrying the ballast as well, as I believe the table's just been finished as I speak. And we'll have a quick run through the tables. It's Matthew Duffin leading away from Skunky High in second. Third is Clouden. Fourth is Shumdomeyer. Fifth is Sam McGrone in sixth. Seventh is Diz. Eighth is Bell. Ninth is Shane. 10th is KLF. 11th is Friedman. The Janetta of Andy in 12th. Aston goes away with Nuclear Waste in 13th. DJ Phil 14th. 15th is Susie Creams. John Andrews in 16th. Collins in 17th. 18th is Old Sim Racer. 19th is Smith. Lucas in 20th. Who Darren in 21st. 22nd is Tipping. Rolo 23rd. BZ 24th. Gude and the others are still yet to score a point. So that is your championship standings. And so far, we've only got Matt in the chat. So we'll have a chat with Matt. And for a man who hates Bathurst and Mount Panorama, you've taken 2 races tonight of 3. Do you want to retract that comment, or...
Do you retract your comment from British tracks? Because we had a laugh about this just before race 3. You say you hate British tracks, and then
I still hate British tracks,
and I say I still hate Bathurst. But yeah, no, good night. Yeah,
obviously a change from the Ginetta to the Mercedes-Benz. Obviously, this was always going to suit this circuit with the grunt that it has compared to the Ginetta. But just talk about the transition between the 2 cars for starters.
Well, I think you saw in that last race, the Ginetta very, very good on the brakes compared to the Mercedes. I think that's why that's why Skunky managed to stay in front. He was just awesome on the brakes, but very, very slow in the straight line. A lot weaker through the corners than what the Ginetta is. The Ginetta's a lot stronger through the corners. So like through here, the mountain section was all for that Ginetta, and you had to sit and wait. But then on the straights, this Merc Grunt just pulls, and I thought I felt really strong in this. We did an event on an American thing a few weeks back at the Nürburgring, and I liked it. I pretty much locked in the Mercedes then. Ginetta's still a lovely car. I still have a soft spot for the Ginetta, but yeah, my goal was to try and get Mercedes to be the first manufacturer to get to 100 poles, 100 wins, and we've started on a good foot.
You have indeed. Obviously, you're starting off with the championship in a good way. Not quite the Grand Slam, but obviously Skunky nicking a race win just at the end there. We head to Misano next, and obviously the way this runs, let's talk about the 3 races, the short qualifying sessions as well. Like, that really does put pressure on people. And obviously you go to Misano with the weight on board. How are you going to negotiate that?
Not a big lover of Misano neither, but we'll see what happens. Mercedes looks good there. We'll see what we can get around it. Good long straights for the Mercedes to use its grunt. I'll be carrying the 40 kilograms. It looks like, obviously, our results are provisional at the minute, but it looks like I'll be carrying the 40 Ks. So that's going to obviously affect a lot, especially with these corners a little more flowing, 'cause it's a bit of a bike circuit than up the mountain and a bit tighter. So we'll see. It might not have too much of an effect. If it rains, it brings everything sort of back into neutral venue. We don't know what the weather's going to be yet. But yeah, like you say, just to touch on that qualifying, I don't know what happened to Clouden in qualifying 2, but he started 16th, Mega Drive to get back to 6th. That shows you, Dan, in these short formats, what you've got to do, doesn't it? If you're not out there first, the front couple of runners got 2 laps, and if you're not out there at that time, you're going to have 1 lap, and if you mess it up, that's going to put it to bed, isn't it? And when we go to these tracks that are going to have a bit more track limits, not just the walls, you need to make sure you're on it.
Yes, indeed. And like I said, it really mixes up the grid and real true touring car style. Obviously, the first race, we will have the reverse grid as well. So how do you think you're going to handle that?
Yeah, turn 1 and 2 at Misano, every time you see a race, it's normally a bit chaotic.
At least it's not here.
At least it's not here. Yeah, you haven't got the margin to negotiate. But look, we'll see what the weather brings. We'll see what happens. Obviously, a lot of testing now to get done and to get the feel of the car and make sure everything feels good and feels right. But want to just give a shout out tonight to Cloud, and great job in that 3rd race. We were having a mega fight. He's raced hard again all night. He looks up for it this season. Skunky High, last race, what a battle that was. And McGowan as well in race 2. He kept me honest all of race 2. Looks like there's a couple of guys as well. Friedman, if he can stay out of trouble, looks like he's going to be one that's up there. Shane, couple of good results. Good, it's just going to be a good season.
Definitely, but nonetheless, no, congratulations on the win. I think you've also won Driver of the Day from the fans.
Thank you very much.
And also, I will give you Driver of the Day because
Thank you very much.
I know how much you hate this circuit, and you've definitely conquered the mountain. So Matthew Duffin tonight has been the king of the mountain tonight in the GT4s. But we will now go to our second place man, which is Jamal Clouden. And first things first, I am extremely happy with your car choice. Extremely happy. I would love to see the Chevy make another return, and it has done in your hands. And again, a quick chat based on car feeling. How does it feel going from the BMW to the Chevy?
The Chevrolet is just absolutely amazing. The way how it handles, the way how it can take curbs. I mean, around here it's a little bit horrible, but other than that, it's just, yeah, such a dream to drive.
Obviously, championship contender earlier on in the season, last season out. This time round, got a little bit of hard work because you got a massive GT4 grid this season. Obviously, with the Chevy as well, there's a lot of circuits that's going to be abusing curbs. The car will abuse them beautifully. A bit an up and down night for you. There was bits that were good and then bits that went wrong. It just seemed to never really click tonight, did it?
Nah, not really. It was just, yeah, it was a bit of a tricky one. Again, Bathurst is just one of those tracks where there's just no margin for error whatsoever. So, yeah, it's just been one of those nights, really, just up and down. But either way, I'm happy with the result in race 1, considering, and race 3 as well. Race 2, again, qualifying, I tagged the wall, messed up my lap, but I'm happy with the performance that I was able to get.
And that's the whole how to deal with this new format with the 5-minute qualifying session. If you do mess up that lap, you are hindered and you are going to struggle in the race, which will bring the racing more close. Nonetheless, mate, it's been brilliant and you've been awesome to watch as always. Third in the championship so far, so you will be carrying the weight, which probably won't help the Chevy. Misano next on the calendar. Obviously, you've got a race in hand still yet. You still got to conquer the mountain again yet, but Misano next. I think the Chevy's going to get on there. Bit tight.
I'm feeling confident. I'll be honest.
Oh.
I do like Misano. From the testing I've been doing, it's up there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week for sure.
Wow. Nonetheless, mate, congratulations on that, and best of luck for your return on Thursday night.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Matt as well.
And that is it, guys. That is the GT4. What a night's worth of racing we had there. We had Matt and Clouden in the chat. Like I said, I will try and figure out how to do the Discord at some point so we can speak to the Xbox guys as well. But nonetheless, it's been a fantastic night for Westers Racing. It's been great to have all these guys back in the grid. That's how we start things off in the mountain. The GT4s have set the bar. Myself and Matthew Duffin will be back in the commentary box tomorrow night for the Pro-Am race. Let's see how those guys get on. And already, from what I can see from the event page, we've got a full grid. We've got 30 cars tomorrow night, so it's going to be very, very interesting nonetheless, and make sure you tune in for that. But Matthew Duffin has been king of the mountain here tonight. He has been dominant all night long, and we'll see the GT4s in a week's time at Misano. So for myself and everyone here, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell to be notified, and I will see you tomorrow night for the Pro-Ams. Good night.